Top of the morning to you. We're going to have some Golgers in your cup. Today's episode of Golgers in your cup is brought to you by that legend himself, Megadol 555. That's some good Golgers right there. I got my volume turned up. It's early. It's really early for Hobo Rob, the train conductor. Choo choo. He's 2 hours behind us on time, and it's 8 o'clock here, so it's 6 o'clock there, which is almost 6 o'clock. I went live just a few minutes early. So, as everyone out there knows that's any kind of subscriber or follower, we went through a significant hailstorm right after we got back from prospecting in the mountains. We haven't got to clean up our cons at all, really. Mama Bird cleaned up one of her buckets, but I've got two buckets here, and I started to clean one of mine up. Started finding some gold in it, got it sucked up in a snuffer bottle right there. We'll show that to you after a bit. But there is a bucket here. Hey, Rob just finished brewing his Golgers, he said. There's a bucket here that everyone that went with us to this spot is curious to know, is there anything in that bucket? Guess what? I don't know, because we ain't done it yet. Now, there is a short out there on me getting the con in this bucket. The lid hasn't been removed off this bucket since we got back. It's looked like it's got active water in it too. But what I did here, where we prospect at there in the St. Francis mountain range here in Missouri, 1.4 to 1.5 billion years old, one of the oldest, if not the oldest mountain range in North America. But anyhow, what I did, we was lucky enough to be down there for Mama Bird's birthday bash when it flooded. It flooded while we were there. It came a big rain, and the river came up, the creeks came up, and we went out mushroom hunting. Well, while we was mushroom hunting, I carried this little bucket. It was dual purpose. One, I thought, you know what, I can stick mushrooms in it. Two, if I find something, rocks or something, we can put in there and it'd be easy for me to carry. Well, one of the dry branches, the tributaries that come off the mountain there, we ran into it, and it was up and rolling. It had, it's usually dry, but it had a significant amount of flow going through it. And it was collecting all this black sand. And I didn't have a scoop or anything with me, but I had my bucket. So I just scraped that black sand a couple layers off in two spots. Tomcat Josh, howdy. Top of the morning to you, Josh. Here's a little Golgers in your cup, my friend. I hope you're having a wonderful morning. So, where this is coming from, we think, Joe and I think, that that's one of the places that is feeding the main creek down there where we no telling where we prospect at. We don't know 100% for sure, and this really isn't a very good test to know if it's coming from it. What this is a test to see is to let everybody know that was with us, which was there was Mama Bird, there was Rose Nose Treasure, there was myself, Priority Prospecting, and Lisa the Fishing Goddess. There was five of us, so there's only five people that know exactly where this spot is. And the cool thing is, it's not very far from where we can drive to and park and walk through the woods and get to it, because we was actually mushroom hunting, and it's not very far. It's an easy walk in and out of the woods. So if this place has some gold in it, we got a new close spot, to go in there and get it. So we're gonna find out. Hey, Tom Kingery, top of the morning to you, my friend. Rob says I've got some cons from the last 2 months that I need to get cleaned up. You know what? The cons game, it is so much fun to get out there and get it, especially whenever you're able to run a sluice or something, or you're doing test pans and you see that shiny in your pan, and that's it. You're having so much fun. You just keep getting cons and keep getting them, keep running the sluice, keep panning them down, and before long, you got buckets full of this stuff, and you got to clean it all up. That's another fun part of it. So yeah. Angie and Rick, top of the morning to you. And good morning to you. Top of the morning. Yeah. That's our friend. That's our mind boss Hazel. That's her best friend over there. Yeah. They like to talk back and forth. I hope Angie and Rick's having a wonderful morning. Scrappy Gaming. Scrappy just reached 400. That's awesome, Scrappy. Congratulations. There's Angela Sparks. How you doing? Top of the morning to you. I think Mama Bird sent you an email about getting your address, Angela, so that we can get the earrings out to you. You know, she was going to send you just let you pick. And whenever we got done with the live, she looked at me. She said, "I'm just going to send them both." And she can either wear whichever pair she wants and keep both of them, or she can pay a pair forward, or however she wants to do it. That's it for Mama Bird. 5 Mile. Come on in, 5 Mile. Top of the morning to you, neighbor. Hope you're having a good day. This material, 5 Mile, this material is down there from the St. Francis Mountain Range, down there at No Tell'em Creek, one of our good spots. We hope to see you down there this year. We'd like to see you come in there. I think maybe, and we're crossing our fingers, but maybe coming up in just in a week that we're going to get to meet Iron Antler and Risha. That I think they're going to go down there with us and do some prospecting, spend a weekend, do some camping, just have a good time, you know. Priority will be there. Hopper said he was going to be there 2 days. I'm hoping Justin Winch is going to get to go. You know, Justin's he does a lot with his local veterans there, and he's a member, and that's one of their weekends that they're doing some stuff, and he's got a pretty high ranking in that, so you know, he has to be active for all that stuff. You struggle with email. Well, let me let you. Hey, Melissa, howdy, howdy, my friend. Old Danny boy's in. We got 19 amazing people. I guess GP ought to shut up, quit talking, and start looking at chat. Yeah. Uh, and million on a little secret, Mama Bird and emails. Oh wow, yeah. That's let's just say that Mama Bird tries to always include me on the emails that she sends so that I can see the emails and read them and say, Ronberg, you didn't even who that go to? We don't even know that person. But anyway, she tries. She does a good job. Beard and Risha, I just detected with them a couple weeks ago. Very cool. Well, we're going to take our detectors. As you know, 5 Mile, we're allowed to metal detect in the National Forest as long as you get permitted. And it's easy. You just go online, put your information in, and say you'll do this, say you won't do that. And, you know, you can get your permit to go into National Forest and do that. There is criteria you got to obey by, but you know all that. And most of you do because most of you all go out there and do it. Excuse me. I'm kind of excited here to see. Now, I got this bucket too, and there's not a whole lot left. I ran about half of it, but you know what? I'm going to set it on a back burner. We're going to see how much time we got today, how much battery we got today, and all that. It was a little chilly this morning. It's 39 when we got up this morning. I think it's 40 or 41 now, but it's supposed to warm up. So GP got a jacket on. And there, Mama Bird coming in. JP Lawn says, not in North Carolina, you can't. That's odd because you know usually national forest is national forest no matter what state you're in. State parks are way different. You know you got to make sure it's a national forest. But I know here all of our national forests we are allowed to metal detect as long as you go in and fill out the permit and get authorized. They have to approve you for it, and once you're approved, you can do it. And that's good for any national forest, I think. And I may be wrong. I mean, shoot, the times I'm wrong is a lot. But I do know that we can and have, you know, there in the national forest, we've done metal detecting and stuff. If you find something that's over $50 or that has a historical value, you're not supposed to remove it. You're supposed to write the coordinates down and send it to them. And we have done that as well. No motorized equipment, no metal detectors, and you better not take home artifacts, right? Yeah, we're not allowed to use any equipment, no shovels, no anything. It's pan and scoop only in the national forest. Now, our state parks, we can't do anything. We can't prospect, we can't metal detect, all any of that on in our state parks or our conservation areas. The Missouri Department of Conservation doesn't allow any kind of disruption of the soil whatsoever. You can't there in West Virginia either. Well, see, now that's that. You guys are teaching me. That's what it's all about. I love to learn. So I'm gonna get started. I'm gonna turn this thing on. We're gonna run the Dirt Devil's sluice today. Well, I like to call the Devil's Cut. I've been running. Let's turn that down here. You guys can see this. Maybe, maybe you can. I think you can see it. Let's look at the header box portion of it. Let's do that. Let's turn her down so we can see that header box. There we go. I think we can see it now. I'm gonna get started because it's chilly and just sitting there. I'm a little cold. We got some material running through there. I set this sluice up at 5 degrees. That's usually what I run it at. Uh, you know what? In all honesty, it's been about 6 months since I've run this sluice. I have been running the switchback Dream Mat, and I love the way that it works. I love the design of it, but I'm not falling in love with how sturdy it is. I'm learning that it is not a very sturdy sluice. So it's going to be an inside indoor sluice going forward because as expensive as that is, I want it to last a while. Not allowed to take shells or fossil. Yeah. And a lot of states are different. And you always want to check your local laws and municipalities for any of that stuff. Never take my word for it or anyone else's because there's a high probability that we can be wrong. Oh, that's nasty, muddy water. I got to pour that off. That one. Yucko. There was a leaf in there. Now, this is when I pulled this out, it was like a layer of black sand. Let me show you this, guys. That's that's what I got. And I really don't think there's going to be much in here, if anything. But you know what? If I get one little speck out of it, then that kind of gives me a clue that there's more. There's something up there. So I'm going to hold my tablet. I'm going to set this down next to my camera. JP says he's not buying anything else that's 3D printed. You know, I'm not against or an advocate for any of the 3D printed stuff. I just like the prospect, and if I find something that works, I'm going to use it. I can see right now that I'm going to have to increase my pitch just a little bit here. From 5 degrees, we're going to go up to about 7 degrees here. Roger done a really good job on this sluice, I have to say. And then the little leg kits that he printed for him is awesome. There we go. I can back that sluice down just a little bit now. Good morning, Hearts of Gold. Top of the morning to you. I hope you're having a great day, Karen. You and David. This sluice will let you know real quick if you don't have it level because it'll pull water out the header box. All right, let's run some. Let's see if this thing's working. I am catching all my tailings down there, and I'll pan them all out just to make sure that I'm getting some shiny. I didn't miss shiny, I mean. Just waking up with the Golgers. You got 16 amazing people in here. I appreciate each and every one of you. Running a little Little material here. All right. Well, guys, I got 5 scoops in there and I see a fleck of gold. I see a fleck of gold in there out of 5 scoops. It's a tiny, but it shows up really good in that black. I'm gonna have to turn that down just a little bit more. Change that shear force just a tiny bit. Packing for the spring rendezvous, says Hart. You guys are gonna have such a great time. Clint, welcome in, Clint. I've been doing good, my friend. How I hope you've been doing good. I've seen some good activity on your channel there. We're still digging out and recovering from that storm, you know. Hoping the weather holds out, but then again, in the river, I'll be getting wet anyway. Yeah, well, there you have it. As long as it ain't flooded, yeah, I agree with that. I see another fleck of gold in there. I got a couple little shinies in there, guys. I don't know what size of rocks or anything because I didn't do anything to this material but take it right off the top. That's cool looking, whatever it is. Set that aside. Let Mama Bird have a look at it later. We'll be back down there next week at this location, and I'm gonna go down and get a couple more buckets of stuff out of there. Of course, it we've had some significant raining and flooding. It's springtime here in Ozarks since we were down there, and so this all this material has probably been moved again and again and again, and that is Dirt Devil Sleuth. It is. Looks like 3/4 inch. I have to scroll back up to see what I missed here. Yeah, this is the Dirt Devil's custom sluice. I call the Devil's Cut. You know, as far as 3D printed goes, and that's all I'm speaking of, this has been the toughest 3D printed sluice that I've ever run. This thing right here. And when I first got it, I thought, you know what, this ain't gonna last. But that's what Dirt Devil does. He's a professional 3D printer and all that designer, and whatever material he used for this is some tough stuff. I'm gonna tell you. My switchback sluice. Now they Green Mat did stand behind it 100%, and they got a new piece out. But sitting on the shelf, it it broke the header box broke on, and they said that that was one of the beta editions that they sent me the original, and that they have since worked the problem out. And the new header box does feel way tougher. I know it weighs more than the old one did. So it's got more material in it. Oh, the material looks like 3 corn mine. Have another coffee? Yeah, right. Good plan, Rob. Good plan, brother. The material is absolutely there's no classification on this. I scooped this with that the little bucket I'm running out of. I just used it and scraped it off the top. Just took the top layer down in 2 places down there. So that, I'm sure there's going to be some bigger rocks in here somewhere. Oh, this is just crazy. The amount of gold now. that I'm seeing, and there's not much material in here, guys. There's not much at all. There's probably a gallon. This is a 2.5 gallon bucket, and I'd say that it's 3/4 of the way full. So it's about a gallon, gallon and a half of material in here. But I am seeing as this clears, I don't know if you guys can see them or not. Give it just a second, let it clear. Boom, piece of gold right there. Boom, another one right there. There's two pieces. I see two flecks. And then there's another one right there. Sure, they're tiny, they're small, or micros, but it's still gold, and all gold matters. Speaking of gold, there's the golden skull. You know, Mama, we're gonna be doing a duck race on Monday night, and we're gonna be doing it for some pretty good nuggets and some pay dirts too. But depending on how many entries we get in it, we're gonna add stuff to it. The duck race for the first time is gonna be money that we're gonna be using, me and Mama Bird, for us. I know that sounds greedy, but that it's the truth. Full disclosure. We're gonna be using that money to help our deductibles, anything we raise off that. 'Cause we have got, oh my goodness, our deductibles are crazy here. And here in Missouri, the insurance companies allowed to charge you up to 5 times what your normal deductible is for hail damage. Yeah, crazy. But what I was getting at was, Jason seen the short that we put out on it, and he said, "Oh, look at that! That looks like an angry skull nugget." And I got to looking at it, and he is 100% right. That is exactly what it looked like. It was like, "Oh, this is so cool." It's a 0.87 gram nugget, and that's going to be. We're going to definitely run for that. That'll be race number, the first race, and then we also have. If it goes up a point, I believe 0.58 gram nuggy, and then a 1/4 gram pay dirt bag. So it's gonna be a fun night. And Mega Dog, being the legend that he is, he donated a 0.159 gram picker on a sticker. He did. And if y'all haven't seen Mega Dog, oh yeah, that's what we talking about right there. Ooh-wee. That'll be my biggest picker yet. And you know what? Jason told me that already once. And a lot of people think, oh, look, he's being awful bold. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. I see 10 or 11 tiny little colors in there. So, Rose, Mama Bird, Joe, Lisa, there is gold in that black sand that's laying on the top. If it's still there, it ain't gonna be there long because it's going easy to get to and it's easy scooping. MMP, welcome in. Thank you, Hearts. Thank you so much. I know Hearts already got her duck. Karen and David got some ducks already. Oh, well, hey, Tom Tompkins, let me moderate you, my friend. There we go. Welcome to the Gold Kingdom. And he asked question: how much gold have you found in your whole career? I have absolutely no idea. Since I've been prospecting, started as a young man, kid, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. I don't know how much I found. Uh, I found quite a bit of gold. I ain't gonna kid you. But the truth of the matter is we give and we've sold a lot of gold. Don't get me wrong. So Rob's right. That stuff looks like about 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch that I'm seeing the bigger aggregates in there. But that is everything that I got off there has a real high density. We got some iron, quartz, feldspar, and some there's a chunk of rhyolite. But to answer your question, I really honestly don't know how much I found. It's a lot. I found a lot. I don't know about you guys, but that looks like that's got something in it. Look at this. I'm gonna set that over here too. No, you can't ask too many questions, Angie. You ask away. If I ignore you, there is people in this chat, I promise you, that can answer the question. Well, thank you, Mama Bird. And you know what? We are givers. That's something that we are. Always have been. I've never had a whole lot in my life. Everything I got, I worked pretty hard for, I think. But it's all material stuff. And the only thing that I hold dear and valuable is my family and friends and the good Lord. And that's it. That's right. That's right, Jason. King's Gold. Welcome in. What do you think of that little MMP snuffer? I'll tell you what I think of it. I think I like it so much that that's the one I'm going to be using today to get this gold out of here with. It's empty. It's brand new. MMP sent this with me with that amazing bucket that we're going to be put. You know what? That'd be a good bucket to put these cons in. And then if we can keep mama bird out of it, we'll just leave it unsearched and we'll just fill pay dirts that we give away with that bucket. Oh, oh, I'm seeing some pretty decent. Well, it's small, but I'm seeing a lot of color in this sluice. Big old, big old rock. Man, see, that should not. The density of these rocks down there is unreal. When you learn the geography that we have, it's crazy. That's some serious. That's a seriously heavy rock. MMP says, "What's that little sluice you're using?" Well, there is no official name on this. I call it the Devil's Cut. This sluice was built and given to me by my pal, Dirt Devil Detective. That's why I call it Devil's Cut. It is a great little cleanup sluice. And going forward, after the experience that I had with some other easy to pack 3D sluices, going forward, this will be the one that I take to with us when we go prospecting and set up at camp. We're allowed to set our sluices up at camp. We just can't set them up anywhere else. Drop in a pan of dirt once in a while, count them. If you catch lead, you get, yeah, flatten them out too. Take a hammer, flatten them out, change the sizes of them and stuff like that. That's great advice. That's a great way to practice. Yeah, it is an awesome sluice. And I know there's a lot of people out there. And to answer your question there, MMP, I don't think he is yet. Uh, I know that as soon as he gets these ready for sale, he wanted to make sure that he had everything done on them that he could do on his end to make the best sluice he could make. And that's word for word what he said. And I can tell you, he changed the design on these 4 times that I'm aware of. I don't know how much he changed them on before he sent me one, but he's got it down. And I want to show you something here. Give him just a little bit of a shout out here. I have got so many different. Look at some of this. This is for some of that. heavier material it's got the Hungarian design in it. There's so many sections. I could if I added all the sections that he sent me for this sluice to this sluice, it'd be 8 foot long. It'd be a long tom. Yeah, Roger is an outstanding guy. He's a good guy. I like Roger. Like him a lot. I want the price of one of them. He hasn't he hasn't told me a price on them, but I do know there's a couple people that I want to get one of these sluices for and give them to them. And I asked him, I said, as soon as you're ready to start selling them, Roger, I want to know because I want to buy some. And we've given a couple of these away, and I'd like to buy another one off of him so I could give it away because I haven't heard anyone that's had one of these yet say they don't like them. And I know there's several people in the community that's got them and is actively using them. Ken Reed, welcome in. Got 15 amazing people in here. Get that gold juice, Joseph. Get it, brother. Hey, Mandy Candy. Welcome in, Mandy. Top of the morning to you. Hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday. Bill Snodgrass. Howdy, howdy, Bill. Got 17 amazing people in here this morning. Watching this old man run some of these here rocks and sands and gravel down this here Devil's Cut sluice. And that is not the name of this sluice. That's just what I call it. Until Roger says the name of it and he puts it out, we'll know the name of it because this is his baby. It's his sluice. I'm gonna pick some of the bigger stuff out of this. Down here where the alluvial flares at that he put in there, I got to show you guys how this is working because it's working amazing. Doing exactly what an alluvial flare out on the river does. And when he was designing this, I'm not tooting my horn here at all, but when he was designing this, he got a hold of me and he said, "Hey, Ken," he said, "is there anything you can think of I could do to this to help catch the tinier gold that all the sluices miss?" Let me show you this. And I discussed the alluvial flare in the rivers with him and how it works, and we drew a couple pictures. Well, it wasn't just a matter of hours. Roger sent me a design that he did on the computer, and I said, "You nailed it. That's it. That is perfect." And you can see the way he created this alluvial flare here, and you see how these heavies are piling up right there on each corner. Guys, that is exactly the way an alluvial flare works in the rivers. You know, everybody focuses and concentrates on the inside bends. And that's awesome because we find tons of gold in insides bends. But if you're missing your alluvial flares and your creeks and your rivers, you're walking away and leaving gold there because you can see the way that concentrates the gold each place, or not necessarily gold, but the dense material, the heavy dense material in each place there. And if gold made it down this sluice, that's where it's going to be sitting at. It's going to fall out, and that shear force is going to get there and work it and roll it over here to these corners, just like the other dense materials do. We'll set that back up now and keep that running. Oh, first though, let me show you guys this. What I'm seeing here. You guys seeing that shiny? Woo! That's what I'm talking about. Mama Bird, Rose, Joe, Lisa. Guess what, guys? Guess what? They was gold there in that black sand. Mama Bird and Rose was like, it's like a layer, it's like a layer of cake, just a thick black cake, black sand cake. And it was too. Yeah, they all snap together like a puzzle. Isn't it crazy? And it works good. You can use what you want. Don't use what you don't want. And what I did was, and you guys, I got videos out there. I ran control study after control study after control study on this sluice. One, I did it mainly for me to see, if it was losing or missing any gold. Two, I did it because Roger asked me to do it, and he was kind enough to send me this sluice. That is beautiful piece of rhyolite right there. And where I numbered them all out, and some of them may still have numbers on them. And I checked every single piece. Now, all I could do was check it for the material that I have that I run here. Uh, I couldn't check it for nobody else's material, of course, but you all can do that for your own and figure out the best configuration for the material and the area that you're running it in. It all fit, yeah, it makes it compact. It all fits in there together. I pack it all in the original. See, he sent it to me in a box, and I leave all of my pieces and parts and everything in that box. I even have a spare, I got spare leg kit. I got spare stuff that snaps on there. It's pretty cool. We're getting that bucket down to where I'll just about need to do a cleanup. 15 amazing people in there. I'm trying to read chat. Sorry, guys. So Mama Bird it was her birthday bash, and she was having a lot of fun down there. She asked me the other night. She said, "So that place that we was prospecting, is that the place where we parked at and we walked and we got there really fast and it was easy to get out of the woods?" I said, "No." I said, "The place where we just scooped the bucket up is there, and this is that place where we just scooped that bucket up." This is the first time we took that I've ever taken any material out of that area, that spot. Usually it's dry, and I mean, it just looks like a dry creek bed, and you don't see a bunch of the black sand stuff, but my God, it was piled up that day. I see 6 or 7 colors in there. There he is, Joe. Hey, priority prospector. My pal Hojo from Mojo Ice. Joe is with us. Joe, this is that material that in that bed, there goes a big old piece of rhyolite. In that dry bed, what's usually dry, that was running the water, where just scraped the layer of black sand off the top. This is that material, and I'm seeing some tiny little colors in there. So that's another place that it was easy to get to too. If you remember, we could just park right there and walk out. Zaxxon, howdy, Zaxxon. Top of the morning to you. Hope you're having a great day. A steam passenger train. Yeah, we have both rode on a steam passenger, not a passenger train. This was just a steam train. But here in the Ozarks, we have a amusement park called Silver Dollar City, and they do have a steam train that takes you all the way around the park and through the woods and a few different places. I got to pick some bigger pieces off here. that is hanging up in my sluice. Now I know that Roger takes this he's got different versions of this. This is the cleanup version, and then he's also got river sluices that he prints out, the big ones, and 6 and 8 inch river sluices, and he may have bigger than that, but he takes them to the river on his claim, and he does pretty good down there. Robert Murray, I see gold in here, Robert. I can see 6 or 7 flecks in here. It's hard to tell why it's the sluices running. But I think I see some down here in the secondary by where the Hungarian riffle section is. Think I see some piling up in there too. There was a lot of easy pickings that was an amazing trip. I mean, because of the flooding and the way that the black sand and it was our first trip of the year. There was just so many variables that played into it. It was a great trip. Let's just put it that way. We had a lot of fun. That is Roger Sluice. And, I was just saying that I wish that I could get, a price off of him, what he would sell. I'd like to get one of these for Joe. Joe does so much. Priority prospecting does so much just out of kindness as far as boots on the ground, him and Lisa, and finding good spots to invite us to and bring us to. And man, I mean, he's just a great guy. And I can't thank him enough for all he does for us and for everybody. But I would love to see Joe priority prospecting have one of these sluices of his own. Adventures in Michigan with Lisa. Top of the morning to you, Lisa. I hope you're doing well. Hope you got some Goldies in your cup. Today's episode of Goldies in Your Cup is brought to you by Mega Dog 555. Ooh, and I got some right here I'm having. Always run out of coffee when I'm out here doing this. So I got 2 cups and I'm about out of coffee already. I think it goes the old saying, the more money you got, the more money you spend. Well, the more coffee you got, the more coffee you drink. We're getting down close. We're gonna finish this bucket. I think it's Sluice will eat it all. It looks like it's holding on to it. It's doing us good exchanges in them riffles. Joe said he'll have one when he's rich and famous. So coming up in July, Mama Bird and a real Mr. Hogan is going to be having a Christmas story. It's Christmas in July. And they have got so much gold they're giving away. It's not even funny, guys. It's crazy. But me and Mama Bird, because of that, started watching A Christmas Story. And you know, I, last night while we was watching it again, I realized something that movie set and screen is all set in Michigan. That's from them guys are in Michigan. So I immediately thought of all my Michigan brothers and sisters, and it was like, this is awesome. No, Jackson, she doesn't. And bless her heart, you know what? She probably would. She probably willingly leave work, come home, and give me some coffee if I asked her to. There's only one problem with that. I have to take her to work because the hailstorm destroyed her car. It beat my truck to death. Don't get me wrong, but my truck's just doing fine. The glass is still good. It's just beat up. And that's okay. I don't care. It's an old truck. But Mama Bird's car busted the glass out of it, busted the mirrors off of it. I mean, it was bad. So what I'm getting at is she can't leave. She's at the mercy of me. I I guess I could leave Mama Bird at work, tell her to stay on the clock. GP needs a new pair of shoes. That is a big old chunk of something. Big old chunky chunk. The Southern attack snide word. Okay. The Southern attack snide word on bless your heart is usually transferred from one female to the next. When guys say it, they usually mean it. When women say it, yeah, it's kind of a snide thing. GP gonna come on next live with the shiner, I'm thinking. I said, you know what? It wouldn't be GP. Actually, it would be GP's first shiner. There's a story behind that, but that's for another day. My dad bought all his grandkids Red Ryder BB guns for Christmas. They all had Christmas story before he gave them the BB gun. You know, Red Ryder has been around for so long that I mean, the thing is, and they haven't changed the design of them. They're still spring loaded BB guns. And some of Ralphie's dreams and visions that he has when he's thinking about getting that Red Ryder is just crazy funny. We uh we laughed so hard last night watching some of them. We're gonna watch it again tonight. We're gonna try to watch it and learn as much as we can off of it. And I know Mama Bird and Hogan are setting, trying to figure out exactly what they're going to do. We are hoping that we are able to, because it's going to be in July. Usually it's 100 to 105 degrees here in July, and really hot. So we're going to try to do it outside, and we're going to try to do a little spoof and stuff like that. Boy, I hear some sirens lighting up. Go get them, heroes. Yeah, they are treasures. Mama Bird GP really cares about you. We asked if you were mad. He was at home relaxing, and he said, well, bless her heart. It bothers her. I tried to explain that that was only derogatory if it was in the South, if it was a female saying it to a female, Mama Bird. Tried to explain when Southern guys said that we really meant it. I don't think he was buying it though. I think he that was a Zaxton eye roll right there with the bullshit GP. Joseph's back with a second coffee, and Zilla has a warm breakfast. We got all of our boys Red Ryder BB guns. We put them over in a safe, and they're from the 90s, because of all of our kids. That's where that when they was born. But they're not worth anything, but they're to them boys, someday they might be valuable. MMPs added them snuffer bottles. These are small snuffer bottles, but man, they're handy. I'm gonna be using this one today. We're gonna give this the official test, MMP. We're gonna see if your snuffer holds up. I'm gonna move out, scoop out of the way, because we down to the look at here. Look at here. Look what we got. We down to the nitty gritty. We're down to the nitty gritty of the itty. And look what I'm going to use. The Mega Dog 555. This is a koozie. I put it in one of the squirtles. Yeah. I put my squirtle off in there, Mega Dog. Let's see if we can do this without flushing all of our gold out. Anytime we change the shear force of that water, whether we change it going faster or slower, we can disrupt the way that the gold is being held into our sluice or pan or any of the others. Little bit of that left. Here comes the juice, bringing it out, sending it down, full send. 100% unclassified. Just ran 3/4 of a 2.5 gallon bucket. It's clean. Down the Dirt Devil sluice. I like to call it the Devil's Cut. That's ready to go prospecting again. A lid on that bad boy. I do have one more suggestion on this here sluice. Roger, if you're watching this, Dirt Devil Detecting, give me text me, my friend, because I've got one small suggestion, one small change on this sluice up here on the header box that you might consider. And you might not. You might say, GP, get the hell out of here. I'm done listening to you. Oh yeah. There's some shiny in that sluice though. Come on with that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I think I see 16 colors. Let's zoom in. You want to? Danny Boy says, I think you've named it. Well, I named for GP. Here's the thing, Danny Boy. You know, you GP if may call you something else. If I ever met you, I may call, even though your name may be Danny or Danny Boy, I may have another name for you. And it's not, that's just the way GP is. That's the way I remember stuff. So that, be it ever so tiny, that is Missouri gold right there. 1.59 says Danny Boy, right? I will never live my 1.59 picker down. But you know what? I love it. And I am so happy that I was able to gift that 1.59 picker to Priority Prospecting. Hey, yeah, look at that, Joe. Look at that. Actually, I'm going to text Roger when I get done with this live. And I'm going to see if I can get an update on when the sluices are going to be available. Yeah, girls say that, and it's the same as it's fine. Think the straw's a hair longer, he says, is the action. Just call me Patricia's old man. I would never do that. Ever. That's something I've never done. Growing up, I'm a product of I grew up in the 70s and the 80s. I'm a product of the 60s and a lot back then it was pretty common. It was a thing. That's what, if you had a girlfriend, that was your old lady. Even if you had a wife, that was your old lady. That is something that all my friends called their girlfriends and wives. Now they're called ex-girlfriends and ex-wives. I've never referred to Mama Bird as my old lady. She's always been my girlfriend or my wife. That's just the way that I've always been. I'm kind of kind of an old softy when it comes to stuff like that. The Garrett Gold Guzzler? You mean this? I have it on standby, and there is gold in this. It came out of the blue bucket. Now that blue bucket is concentrates. We worked on that. I panned it down, and them are full concentrates. But I know for a fact there's gold in here. That that I got to finish that blue bucket and clean up and see. Old is not saying old, just saying this is true. And I don't mean anything, there's any kind of disrespect at all, because there's a lot of people that meant a lot. You know, if you was somebody's old man or old lady, that meant you belonged to somebody. So there's no disrespect there. I just, myself personally, has never referred to that, you know, the old ball and chain or the old lady. Uh, One, I'm older than Mama Bird is, so not by a whole lot, but I am older than her. Oh, and that's just it. That's the thing. That's what everybody did. And you know, that's the generation that it came from. So let's have a look at this entire sluice. I'm gonna pick this phone up. I'm gonna shake you guys. This is the bottom. This is what that bottom section ended up catching. I haven't taken anything off since I shut it down. You can see the way that that alluvial flare laid that all that black sand on these sides. I do not see anything in this. It don't mean there's not anything in it. And I don't know. There could that the tailings could be full of gold, but until we pan them, we won't know. And then we're going to run this up here. This is the diamond section. I changed the configuration slightly on this from the last time that I used it with me and Priority Prospecting. I had the diamond section one section up. But I got to think this is the original section that he created. And it does. The original section has some clean outs that resemble the dream map, but there it is completely different. The exchange just works off the same principle. Then it moves up here to where the Hungarian riffle section is, and then it moves up to the indicator map where all that shiny is. Ooh, come on with that. And we are going to set it up now. I'm going to try to do it where you guys can watch me pull this apart. Right there's where I'm going to be cleaning her up at. Yeah, like that. And we're going to clean this sluice out. Now, you can, it's your sluice. You can clean it out any way you want to clean it out. I do know that for me to clean it out, I like to pop the sections apart sometimes. Sometimes I'll leave them together and run the whole sluice that way. But for now, for today, we're going to pop the sections apart and we're going to clean these sections out one at a time. And we're going to start with the alluvial flare. I think that's going to be fun. It's a little different than what we usually do. Creek drop. You got the big D with the creek drop coming at you with the big D. So what we're going to do, what we're going to do, what we're going to do. Here, let me show you guys. Let me turn this back around here and I'll show you guys this as I clean it up each section. First thing we want to do is we want to make the sluice back level. So I'm just going to undo this and let it down. See how easy that is? And now let me turn this back up here like so. And then I'm gonna leave this leg section on, there's no reason why I shouldn't, and I'm gonna just pop this off gently, and just see how the sluice is laying flat, and then I've got the alluvial flare right here in my hand. I'm gonna set it down in my box, or my clean out pan. We're just gonna do a little splash, 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 splash. We're gonna pan this out and see if any gold made it down here to the bottom, down here to the alluvial flare. That's good enough to run another batch down it. Lay that to the side. I don't even know. Yeah, you guys can see that now. You guys can see that. Do it this way so you guys can see the pan as a cleaner out there. In theory, you don't want any gold to be down here on the very bottom. I mean, I got 2 feet of sluice set up, and I'm hoping that the first 2 feet caught it all, that first 24 inches. But if it didn't, we got a last chance with this alluvial flare. And if I find a bunch of shiny in here, then that tells me there is probably shiny inside of my tailing pile. Trying to catch up with chat, guys. Sorry. I pan alone. Oh, with nobody else. So, guys, I'm gonna tell you right now. I am seeing this. We have gold in the bottom. That's something we never want to see, but we got it. And the thing is we caught it. You guys seen the way that alluvial flare works. I'm seeing some shiny down there in this very bottom section. Not a lot, but I am seeing some color in there. Let me run this, get this down. These are them fat lip black sands. And if you know, you know. And if you don't, you want to. GP got quiet. That means GP is seriously panning here. I'm watching all for this. I got good light going on out here. Nice and overcast, about 44 degrees now. Warmed up a little bit. And I did see a piece of gold, but I don't see it yet no more, but it's in here somewhere. It's in this pile of sand somewhere. You want to, if you get some funny acting dark colors up in here, you want to be sure to check them because we do find some of that dark colored gold up there. See that micro that I seen in there? I found it again. There's actually more than one. I'm almost to the bottom and I see three, I think. Oh, there's more than three in there. Oh yeah, Roger. See, and that's what he wanted. That is exactly what Roger wanted, was be able to capture these tiny little micros that all them sluices kick out. And he's done it. He got them. He captured it. He caught them. There's some babies in here, but I do see a bunch of them. One, two, three, four, five without zooming in. Five without using a microscope or something like that. I don't know if I can hold that still enough. You guys can see them or not. And zoom in here. Yeah, I'm really zooming in, guys. Zooming in. Look at that. Oh, snap. I think you guys can see that maybe. If I quit shaking. There's gold. We caught it. We caught it in that alluvial flare. I'm gonna suck it up. One, two, three, four, five. I see six pieces. Hey, that little snuffer bottle works really good. Got it. That's how much I got it zoomed in, if anybody was wondering. All right, section, the bottom section, caught gold. Zoom it back out now. There we go. Now I got to get over here where I can see chat because I've been ignoring you guys, cleaning that out. Sorry. Stupid autocorrect. No, it doesn't mean that, Angie. It means that all I've never seen a sluice ever catch 100%, but this is the closest that I've ever seen a sluice to catch that. The next closest would be the switchback sluice, but that alluvial flare section done what he wanted it to do. It give it a second chance to try to catch all that shiny. We're going to take this next section off, what I call the diamond section. I had the sluice originally set at 5 degrees and I pulled it up to about 7 degrees, and it between 5 and 7 degrees is where we set. Oh, my indicator match part just came unhooked and I lost all the gold that I had in my top. Oh my God. I don't know what to do. It's on the ground. I'm going to cry. That's what I'm going to do. That just happened. It was my fault too. That just happened. This section of sluice, while I was unhooking the other section, came apart. This is a complete disaster. This is real life. This is the kind of crap that happens. This is a complete and total 100% disaster. There is no way I will ever recover that gold that just got out of that header box. I'm gonna cry now. Oh, it's right there. Has anyone ever cleaned out a bamboo camping mat? Because that is what it is laying on. Shop vac, shovel, whoops. Uh, so let me show you guys. I couldn't be any sadder. I am so sad right now. I know I lost them 13 pieces that I seen. They're gone. They are right here on this bamboo mat that this table is set up on. Tweezers and magnifying glass. I don't know. I don't think so. I think I do see a chunk of gold though. Laying right here. That is a piece of gold right there at the tip of my finger. And there's another piece that I see. And another piece right here. Tiny little micro. What to do? What to do? Uh so yeah. This is a mat, one of the bamboo camping mats that I got 20 years ago that Mama Bird gave me. Uh and I used it for a lot of years when we went camping, and now I just keep it set up out in the back. It's just a place we sit around the table and talk and stuff and keep out of the mud and all that, and it's a mess now. And so what happened was that top section that I had turned that down on came apart. I see gold in this section. I see gold in this section. So it's not all lost. I'm done cleaning out in sections. I'm just going to clean the whole sluice out now. I'm upset. Nobody's fault but mine. I blew that. Oh my God, I blew all that gold out of it. Dropped it out of there. I did. And I mean, it landed like this. It went boom and landed on the ground. And then this section was laying next to it. I don't know what happened. I did something stupid. I did something wrong. I GP'd it. That's what I done. I straight up GP'd it. Trying to get fancy. But this sexy section got some gold in it. The Hungarian riffles caught gold. I don't know how much I lost. We're going to say I lost 15 ounces. It was 15 ounces of gold in the top of that mat, and I just threw it on the ground. That's what we're going to, that's our story. We're sticking to it. I'm going to cry is what I'm going to do. I know what I'm going to do when I get done with this live. I'm going to be getting a hold of my support team. I'm going to be getting a hold of Jason and Carl and Hogan and Hobo Rob. I'm going to say, hey, all right, guys, what the hell do I do? I screwed this up. How do I get this gold? How do I recover it? And we're going to bounce ideas off each other's heads, and we're going to come up with something. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to set this to the side for now. GP is upset. GP, the man with a golden lawn. Yeah, 15 ounces. You seen it. That's what it was, right? 15 ounces. Do it away. Gee, Christmas. What an idiot, GP. My goodness. I know I can't step in that spot. I got a plan. I've got a plan. It's time to retire the bamboo mat after 20 years. So here's my plan, guys. Here's my plan. I'm going to leave everything just like it is out here. Let me show you guys this. Let me move that out of the way. Let me move that out of the way. That out of the way. So that gold is laying right there. I know there is gold. I know for a fact. I can see it. You guys seen it. It came out. It's everything that was in the indicator mat. All 13 of them pieces is right there. This mat is old. It's really no good for nothing other than what I've been using it for. So here's what's going to get ready to happen. I'm going to take a pair of scissors and I'm going to cut a circle out right here. And then I'm going to take that and put it in my mat and I'm going to wash it out like you do miner's moss and see how much of that that's the best thing can you guys think that'll work? I mean, I don't know. I think that'll work. You know what? If it doesn't work, it was a stupid idea. Because an ideal is only stupid if you try it and it doesn't work. Otherwise, it's just an ideal. Shop back, then roll it up and wash it. Yeah, yeah. I I respect your thoughts on the shop vac ideal, but I'm also going to reject them. I have recovered gold with a shop vac out in the wild, and this is a bamboo mat. I just don't think it's going to work. I think that take me a pair of scissors or an X-Acto knife, cut out about a 2 foot section, and then wash it out. That's what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to throw this mat away. Put a cultivator on the hose so it will catch the gold. Yeah, yeah, probably. But we're going to do it this other way. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Melissa. And as old as this bamboo is, I think if I stick a vacuum on it, that I'm going to rip it up and which I don't care if I tear that up, but I really don't think I'm going to be able to catch that gold. But in the meantime, I'm going to pan this out. I can't believe I did that. This is one of them times that you wish you was panning alone, so nobody seen how bad you just messed that up. But you know, that's reality, guys. This is the kind of stuff that happens. Of course, it usually just happens to GP, but hey, it happens. And this is loaded. This is freaking loaded. The stuff that didn't get spilled out is loaded. I just started panning this, the rest of it, and it's loaded with gold. I don't know how much was in there. I mean, let's face it. I know there's not enough on that ground to move the scale, but I know there also that there's 13 pieces of gold on the ground. I'm gonna get them. You watch. I gotta see what everybody's saying. I laid my tablet down on the ground. We're all human. Thank you for that, Karen. I know, but it's still just wash it off and keep the old faithful mat for another day. Oh, you know what, Jackson? You may be on to something, man. Let me look at something here. I've got the huh. Let me look at something here. Jackson may be on to something. So I got this big bowl right here. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. No, that ain't gonna work. Holy hell, that's a big piece of gold right there. I'm saying, Jesus, oh my God, this is an all day thing. My ADD is in overdrive. I walked around here. I thought what I'll do is like Jackson says, I put that big bowl over it, and then turn the carpet over, the mat over, and let the stuff fall in the gold. I walked around there to see if the bowl was big enough to cover the wet spot on the mat, and it's not. But let me show you guys something. Okay, from right there, you guys do not see the gold that I'm looking at. But let me zoom in. Let me zoom in. Hang on. Let me back up and zoom in. Right there. You see that? I got to do this at a different angle, guys. Sorry. Sorry about the camera. There. That is a proper piece of Missouri gold laying on the ground in Missouri right there. You guys see it? I can get that with a pair of tweezers. There's most of it. Let me zoom back out. Most of it is right here that I'm seeing, but this is all the way over to here. So I need to cut a section of this mat out. Yeah, that's what I need to do. Dan says, I seen nothing. GP never. Dan, GP makes mistakes every day. The biggest one's usually getting out of bed. Now my nose is running. Lost my gold on the ground. I can't keep my thoughts together. It turned out to be a wonderful day. It's wonderful Wednesday. You know what GP will be doing all day? You do. I don't know, man. I, GP, what have you done? You know, if this was the first gold I ever lost in the backyard, I'd be really, really, really upset and disappointed. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I've lost a lot of gold back here. Lost two nice pickers that we got out of Ohio 3 or 4 years ago. Uh, I flipped the table over, and they were on the table when I flipped it over, and it's like, oh my God, I forgot to pick them up when I was cleaning everything up. I just wanted to pan some gold today, clean my buckets out, have a stress-free morning. That's all I wanted. Hey, guess what? Wrong is not going to happen now. Use your pinpointer. Well, I got a really, really, really good pinpointer, but I don't think it's good enough to pick up them little tiny micros that I lost. And again, like I said, I know there's not enough there to even move the scales a digit, but it's the fact that I could see them and then they was gone. I guess if I ever want to see that gold again, I'm going to have to cut this mat up or just rewatch the video because it's on the ground right now. That one piece, though, I know I can get that one piece. And I won when I flipped them that table over and lost them pickers that time. I spent 3 days with pinpointers and metal detectors. Everything in my yard is magnetic. Everything in my yard, Gold Bug 2 and the White's GMT Goldmaster 2000 would pick up everything. I got so many buried cables and screws and nuts and bolts and stuff. We've lived here for over 35 years in this house, and I built a lot of stuff. You know what? This may be the absolute best gold cleanup we have ever gotten out of that place. And I didn't dig for it. I did nothing for it. I just scooped the black sand up. Guys, my heart's racing a million miles an hour. My thoughts are going all over the place. But this right here just put a smile on GP's face. Look at that. Look at that line of gold. I don't know how much is on the ground. I'm going to chase this black sand our next trip and just see. So many micros. You'll hear and see chat again. Yeah, holy crap. Yeah, Mama Bird. Get a large garbage can and rinse the mat off into it, then pan it out. There's you an ideal. There's you an ideal, nerdy. There you go, girl. I've got 14 buckets of material that I have to move off this mat if I was to do the whole mat. But you know what? There's no telling. We have done a lot of dirt on this mat over the years. A lot. So there's no telling what's on it. Yeah, Mama Bird, I've got some of that dark colored gold in here too that you got on the last one. I think this is our best cleanup. They're all tiny pieces, except for that one laying on the ground. Pretty sure it's a 13-ounce nugget, one that I never will recover. Out of that little big bucket, guys. Look, look at that. Look at that. Woo! That's a win. You hear that, Rob? You hear that? The train conductor is sending me one of them there trains over here going, woo wee, woo wee, choo choo. And we're gonna suck it up. We're gonna suck it up with the modern Michigan prospectors snuffer bottle you give me. Right there. So whatever's in there is in there now. And I am not going to sluice that other bucket until I figure this mat system out here. I don't have no tweezers out here with me. Wesley, welcome in, my friend. I can definitely, I've got giant containers. I can definitely get this mat in a container and do just that. I think I'm going to do just that, nerdy. I think you give me my ideal. Duct tape might work too, but getting the gold off the duct tape's another issue. No, I don't have a cable dog run. You guys want to see that snuffer dump? I do. Oh, that's one of them two-piece. That's one of them there snuffer bottles that's got the cap on 'em. Sorry, I don't like these snuffer bottles. Hate them. The ones that's got the little cap on them that's not made in one piece like that. I mean, if that's all you got, it's all you got. But it's the best snuffer bottle in the world at that point. But to me, I don't care much for them myself. Just got to be honest, guys. I'm just trying to be honest. They do work. I got some gold in there. There's the snuffer dump. There's what I got out of that bucket. All zoomed in, looking good. Zoomed in like that, them look like proper flakes, don't they? They're not. But I don't even know that there's enough to move the scale here. But still, that for that amount of material that I just scooped up all out of the black sand, no panning, no classifying, no nothing. That is a sexy amount of gold right there. Got it. Woodfield weren't car. Right, Dan? Right? Yeah. Thanks, Dan. Appreciate it. No problem, man. No problem. Have to have the adjustable straw. I'm with you on that, Rob. I like that too, buddy. Uh, so let me turn the camera up here. Let me turn the camera up here. Let me walk back around there where you guys can see me. Got to walk around the gold that's on the ground, stupid. Walk around the gold. Walk around it. I can't keep my eyes off of it. The best part of waking up is gold just in your cup. How disappointing is that? pretty disappointed. You guys like my new roof that I put on my camper? Because the hail blew through the top of it. Yeah. This is 1955 Yellowstone. Damn it all, right? Oh, and so I couldn't put this around my coffee cup, and I thought, you know what? You know what? That goes perfect around Snuffy, around my Squirtle. It's on my Squirtle bottle. Squirtle, Squirtle. Yeah, isn't that so cool? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right, do you guys want to see me try to recover this crap? Because I think my original plan works. Me and Mama Bird was just talking about getting rid of this mat anyway. And I've got a pair of scissors that I can go get, and I can just whack this corner of it off. And it's old, it's frailed, it's falling apart. I've got a new one that I can lay out here. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go and then use Nerdy's ideal. I'm just going to stick it all down into a bucket and wash it out. Mama Bird tried to make you get rid of it. It's a power play. Hashtag save the mat. Save the mat. Auction it off during the duck race. Auction the mat off. There you go. Stop the husband abuse. Hashtag no bullying. Burn the whole thing. Well, I could do that. I'm allowed to burn here. I, I gotta know. I can see gold. I am standing in my backyard and can see the gold on that stupid mat because I made a stupid rookie move. I should have just cleaned the mat. What is that? What the hell is that stuck in that mat? What is that? What? What is that? Something. I got. Mm, oh, you guys ain't even watching the same thing. You guys are looking at my camper. Sorry, guys. So this chunk of rock was stuck in that mat. I just looked at it and looked down and I seen something in it on it. That rock right there. I broke it, I stuck it in a pan. There's the gold. One, there was 3 micros stuck on that rock. I can see them really good. No, there's 5 or 6. You guys can't see them because I'm not holding the camera right. Get with it, GP. Can you guys see them tiny little micros next to that little rock? So Mama Bird last time found a piece. It was small. but it was colored weird and it was doing something weird in her pan. She pulled it out. We stuck it under the microscope and then stuck it on the scales, and it was gold. So that's something you got to be looking for. But look how that them pieces right there, that one acts in my pan. You guys can't really see it because I got it takes a significant. I still see gold stuck on it. I'm gonna leave that in the pan. I'm gonna do something different with that. I don't know what I'm gonna do. My mind's going a million miles an hour. I just throwed all my gold on the ground. What a disaster this has been. All I wanted to do was pan for some gold today. That's all I wanted. I wanted to do a little panning, a little gold panning, have a little fun, you know. Tweaker looking for Jim. A crackhead can go get that gold back. Poor guy's so afraid she'll beat him. He's going to try and burn a mat to save the gold. Put the mat in a wheelbarrow and light it on fire. Small hand vac. Yeah, I got vacuums. I just don't think the vacuum is going to work. I really don't. This stuff is so fibrous. It's scissor time. I've got to make a conscious decision, and my conscious decision is to cut this damn mat up. So here's what I'm going to do. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go get a pair of scissors, and I'm going to whack this mat, and we're going to clean it out, and we're going to see. That's it. I'll be right back. And I'm back. I got my scissors, and I'm going to let you guys watch me do this. Got my scissors. Gold's right here. We're going to do this together, guys. We're going to do something even if it's wrong. Okay? Here we go. Here we go. This is where the gold's laying. We're going to cut this section of mat out. You guys see me? That is a piece of gold. I should get my tweezers and at least pick the gold I can see out. Right? Right? So I'm going to point that at this piece of gold that I'm seeing. We're going to move this camera down here where the action is. Lick it and pick it. I ain't licking that. I don't care how much gold's on it. I got my tweezers. Man. I got my tweezers and I got a little thing to recover it in. You see that, guys? I got gold. I got gold out of my backyard. Of course, I put it there. I dumped my sluice like an idiot. This is it. I'm cutting it up. I'm going to set this on the table with my tweezers. Bye, Matt. We're going to whack it up right here. Should I whack it or should I vacuum it? I should whack it. Wait. Wait. You know what? I'm seeing all kinds of gold, guys. Break out the mercury, no gold loss. That would work. Mercury would absorb it. You're right, amalgam. I'm gonna move this camera. I think I see two more pieces that I can recover right here. There's two more pieces right there that I think I can get with my tweezers. Oh my God, there's so much here. This is where the majority went down. It's just riddled with black sands. I can't get it. Nope, I just lost that piece. This ain't gonna work. Can't pick it out. Vacuuming ain't gonna work. We're gonna do the one thing we got left to do, and that's cut it. I'm gonna cut it. Here we go. Let's start right here. Cut down that seam. And cut straight down through there. That's what we're gonna do. Wondering if you're just coming in, you're seeing a prospector cut up an old bamboo camping mat and gonna sluice it out. Or not sluice it, but we're gonna pan it out. Yeah, there's no way the vacuum would have worked on this, as old as this mat is. Just saying. I see gold all over the ground. I'm gonna stop right there. Oh my God. Okay, guys. I gotta laugh so I don't cry. So this is under the mat. We are now under the mat. This is where the majority of the gold fell. It has already made it under the mat. There's gold under this mat. Let's just put it that way. That don't know where that came, you guys can't see. I don't know where that gold came from. That is a giant piece of gold comparatively, and it looks like it's been there for a while. Uh, over here, there is so much. Right here is where we usually set the table up at. There is so much gold laying there. So much black sand and gold. Mom Bird, we're digging the backyard up. We're going to dig up the backyard. That's what we're going to do. There's gold everywhere. It's got to be just that it fell through the mat. That's got to be what it is. I need a bowl. I need something to put this in. I'm unprepared. This will work. We get some water in this. Yep, under that mat is where I was. Strip the yard after you burn it, mat and wheelchair. Yeah, see, so here's it is. Here's what's going on, guys. Let me move this camera out of my way. Here's what I got going. I see probably 50 pieces of gold underneath this mat. There's no telling what's under the whole mat. So I'm going to take the mat is now that I cut out in the water. So just like you do miner's moss, I'm going to rinse this mat out, this piece that I have cut out, and then I'm going to have to get a shovel. Get a shovel and dig. I ain't got no choice. That is a proper piece of gold right there. And that's been there for a long time. You can tell. Let me put that in this with this other chunk of gold. So, guys, this was when I pulled the mat back, I seen this. That's not from today. I don't know when it's from. That it's in buried in the mud already. But that's a hell of a chunk of gold. I'm not gonna kid you none. We're gonna set that right there. Wait, I see another piece. Right there. Another piece in there. And another piece. All right, we got to finish rinsing this out. Put this on the table before I spill it. I'm gonna get a bucket. Bucket. I'm gonna set that over in the bucket now. And then I can rinse the bucket out. What is that? What is that? Oh, this is a mess. Here's another fine mess you've gotten us into, GP. Gotta show. There's a first time for everything. Mama Bird's gonna wool someone when she sees that. And you're right. Mega Dog, you're right. And you know what? I will try to keep her off of you. That's all I'm going to say. I'll try my best, man. But when she finds out this was all your ideal, yeah, she's going to be mad at you. This is all there is to it. Processing the flower garden for gold. So, yeah, he's digging up the backyard, Mama Bird. He is. He is. No shit. He really is. Oh. So, I'm gonna turn the water hose on, guys. Sorry. I guess I could be walking around with me, showing you guys all this. The water's on. Here's what I got. I'm gonna fill this bucket up with water. Finish rinsing this mat out. Let me grab this camera one time here. Here's what I got. Let me put the legs down on this dude. Mama Bird, if you're watching, Mama Bird, Mega Dog, he did, you know, I think, you should cut him a break. He did pretty good. This was a great idea he had, you know. Welcome to Cold Rush, Missouri. Mining party at GP's. Let's go. Now we'll have to classify the bucket. You are right. I do have to classify the bucket. I shut that water off. I'm getting another bucket of classifier, guys. Sorry. I got me another bucket here. What is that? Throw a classifier on it. Oh, these are our diggings for the day. I'm gonna turn that water back on. Water is back on. We're gonna classify the backyard. Gonna classify the backyard. GP is a man on a mission. David's a troll. Don't listen to him. We have plenty of water now. That's such water. Hey, if nothing else, I got the cleanest gravel here. All right. We're gonna set that to the side. I'm gonna throw the surfactant in there and in there. Woo! Set that to the side. Pour that water. Get that stuff off there one time. Let me get my squirter. All right, got that cleaned out. Gold prospecting 101. I'm going to screw something up, going to have some fun. I'm going to try hard. You got that right, Zaxton. You nailed it. I made a puddle. I'm going to move this over here, though. You know what, guys? I could classify that down again. Classified at half inch. So we grab another classifier here. We'll take it down to 1/8 inch. Let's take her down to an 1/8 inch. All right, that's got our out of our mat in it. Don't know if there's anything in there or not. And this is our 1/8 inch stuff. So I gotta turn the water back on. I'm gonna be worn out. I'm back to the light mode. Well, that classifying her down. Fire in the bowl. Smoke on the water. My gold hit the ground. Smoke on the water. William, welcome in. Good enough? Classify that down. Get rid of that. 1/8 inch tailings. Then we're gonna dump it back in. Ooh. Son of a biscuit ear. And we got it. Raise this up. Scoot it over here. Set that little piece out that I said I was going to look at later. Guys, I hate to say this, but I'm going to have to run in and use the latrine real fast. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. All this water. Somebody wants to get water. All right, I'm back. Sorry, guys. Had to ring the socket. Playing in all that water made me need to play in some water. You know what I mean? You know. You know. So let's pan this out. First thing I want to do, we've already panned all this. So I'm going to put this material in this catch pan right here. And that way I can rerun that other stuff. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. That's a lot of material. Hello, Ken, gentleman prospector. Top of the morning to you. I'm deep in the Ozarks, panning my backyard today. Let's see if we can find anything. Oh man, 23 people in here. I appreciate each and every one of you. Please hit that like button if you haven't and subscribe. It's free, and anything free is worth saving up for. I'm going to tell you right now, and you never know what you're going to see on this channel. You might see some old boy out here, some old duck trying to pan out his backyard and out his camper mat and stuff. You can't ever tell. That's just how we roll here, man. Well, this has been entertaining. Yes, it has been entertaining. There's the sunshine. Back on the bulldozer. We'll be there when you get home, Mama Bird. Yeah, about that. All for 13 flecks of gold. Actually, guys, I want to show you this again. When I got under that mat, this is going to be incentive for Mama Bird and me to pull this whole mat up. Because when I got under that mat, this thing, look what was under. Look at that flake of gold there. And I know that didn't come out of what I panned today or what I ran. I know it didn't. And then there's another flake right there. So there's no telling what I'm going to find in here. After 30, I see gold already. Woo! We got gold in the backyard, Mama Bird. Hell, we don't have to go to the mountains no more. We just pan the backyard. I'm standing in the water mess that I made in my tennis shoes, no doubt, which are now my water shoes. Oh, GP, you idiot. But look, I got gold. I got gold. I got 4 micros out of that first pan. We got to suck it up. Got to suck it up. Suck it up. After we finish panning it. Oh, I was done. That limestone, man, that's a mess. Got it. Group number 2. Group number 2. Stratify. Stratify. Everybody likes this stratify. Yeah, I'm going to be a while. That's a fact. Ozark said, man, what is this world coming to? I complimented someone on the mustache, and now suddenly she's not my friend anymore. Welcome in, Ozark. This is easy. Oh, about knocked my camera in the water. That's what I need. Destroyed my phone. So, Mama Bird, I tore up my $1,000 phone trying to get 15 cents worth of gold that I spilled. There's a conversation I don't want to have. Oh, I see gold. I see gold. And then, like I said, there's no telling how much of this I actually spilled today and how much has collected in that one spot over the last 30 years. I do see gold in here, though. So if we find 15 pieces that I seen in that top indicator mat, we know we found the gold that I spilled. If we find more than 15 pieces, then I know I'm finding old gold that I've spilt in the past. We found 4 in that first pan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 in this pan. You guys see them 6 pieces? So that makes 10. That's 10 pieces we've recovered out of the off the mat and under the mat now. And that's 2 scoops. We've got probably, I don't know, guessing 6 more scoops to go through here. I'm just guessing. Plus, we got that gold I picked up, that big old hunk of burning love that I picked up with them tweezers once I got under the mat. Swamp dog, howdy, howdy. Go out there with $3,000 worth of equipment and find a dime. Yeah, well, that's just part of it. We all spend way too much on our equipment, or most of us do anyway. We're up to 10 pieces recovered, not including the ones that I picked up under the mat. And the one I picked one off the top of the mat, didn't I? That first one, guys, where I dropped it at. We got 23 amazing people in here, 43 likes. I appreciate that. I'm very humbled. And I apologize, guys. I spilt my gold when I was cleaning my sluice out a while ago. And we had to there's another one piece in here. Another piece recovered, guys. Another piece recovered right there. So that makes 10, 11, there's 12 pieces of the 15 that we knew that we lost. We're going to find it all. We're going to find it all. I got a feeling. It was a group effort. We bounced the ideals off each other's head on how to recover it. And we came up with, we're going to do it this way. Dan, the days of Fran's oppressions won't last forever. Yeah, they all outlive us, man. That's part of it. I'm okay with Mama Bird outliving me. And the main reason for that is I can't bear the thought of ever staying in a world that she's not in. Hey, I could say something though, guys. This is the easiest panning that I've ever done. This limestone. You see the way I worked through that? I could probably dump that whole thing in here and pan it out. The sun is out now. Love to hear them old robins hollering at me. They're laughing at me saying, GP, you lost the gold. Oh, well, guess what, guys? We not only recovered all the gold that I have seen or that I seen, because I've got a pan full of gold in here. We have recovered at this point more than what I could see in the indicator, man. Now that don't mean there wasn't more in it, but because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We got 10 pieces right here in this pan. GP done good, didn't he, Mama Bird? Not only did I recover and find all that gold, look at all this extra gold that I just found us, man. This stuff was lost forever, and I found it. So everything happens for a reason, guys. That's the reason I spilt that, knocked that over, and begonzed it, and did a stupid thing with the sluice this morning, was so I could find all this gold that had been lost. Yeah, well, I'm doing good. So you know what? Here's the thing. I'm just trying to get a house finished, easy maintenance, get some big projects going. He has a pit 6 by 6 by 6 in the backyard, Mama Bird. Mama Bird, Mama Bird, I'm finding gold in the backyard. I got a hole. It's 6 by 6 by 6. I'm finding gold. I have recovered all that I know that I've seen, and I still have all this to go through. I'm doing good. I'm doing good, Mama Bird. I think now don't quote me on this, Mama Bird, but I do think that GP has earned his lunch today. Mama Bird comes home from work a lot of times, and I'll ask her, say, "How was your lunch?" So I enjoy making her lunch every day. And she always says, "Oh, it's good," blah, 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 and talks about it a little bit. And then she says, "And what did you have for lunch today?" And I'll tell her, I said, "I didn't eat nothing. I didn't eat lunch today. I didn't earn my lunch today, so I didn't eat it." She gets mad at me. Oh my goodness, she gets mad. But I think I earned my lunch today, Mama Bird. I'm digging at Tellen's pond. I like that, Rob. Love that positivity, brother. So I think we ought to pull this whole mat, set it on fire like Jason said, and then we can dig the whole yard up here. I mean, this. Let's face it. This is a 12 by 20 mat. That's a pretty good size dig pit in the backyard. Yeah. So if you would have asked me yesterday, my personal opinion, and my opinion ain't worth nothing, guys. I'm gonna tell you right now. But if you would ask me what my opinion, where the best place to find gold in Missouri was at, I would have said down around the St. Francis mountain range and the foothills of such, because that's where we have found the most gold in all of our years here. But ask me that today, and I'll have to say it's right here in my backyard. That's where the most, it's the best gold. I don't know what that is. I got gold in this pan too. Also got a piece of silver in it. That's what that is. A piece of silver in there, Mama Bird. Some of that purty Missouri silver. We're gonna suck them up. There's one piece in here. So everything I find now, this is all fluff. I've recovered all my gold that I lost. Man, a lot of micros in here, more than I thought. Go big or go home. Let's take the rest of it. Let's take the rest of it. Got it. Is fluff bigger or smaller than micros? Uh, sure. And the answer to that question, Mega Dog, is 7. See what's in here. Excuse me. Fluff is smaller than mosquito nuts. Answer equals 42. I forgot to carry the 6. Yeah, Rob's right. It's 42, not 7. I forgot to carry the 6. You know, I don't know how many buckets of material we have spilled over the years. Oh my God, this pan's loaded on this carpet or this mat back here. I, hundreds. I'm not joking. We literally have probably spilled hundreds of buckets over the last 25, 30 years. And we usually just scoop it back up, throw it back in there, and don't worry about it. This adds up, guys. I never thought of that. We're going to definitely pull the rest of this mat, and I'm going to dig the area up under it. Uh, maybe, if Mama Bird says I can. And then I'm gonna pan it all out. Cause some of this gold that I'm seeing now, these pieces that I just revealed, I'm gonna tell you, did not come from where we're panning at. These are some chunky monkeys. And I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 6. There's 17 pieces right there in that pan. And 2 of them are chunky monkeys. That gold right there did not come from where we're currently prospecting. At least them 2 chunky monkeys didn't, I don't think. They could have, I guess, but I did not see nothing that big in the indicator map before it went down. Got them. All right, last thing we got to do is this gold that I picked up with the tweezers right here. Let's clean it up. Let's get the mud off of it. You want to? Because that's some proper looking gold. That's a good chunk of monk of gold. I had the camera zoomed in. Sorry, you guys didn't get to see me pan that. Yeah, that's a pretty piece. That one is, and then there's micros in it as well. So let's suck that up. Got it. Slowly but surely recovering it. Let me pan that camera back out here. Kevin, welcome in. Hey, vintage fly guy. Let me add you as moderator, Mr. Fly Guy. And guys, if there's anyone in there that needs to be added, I'm not paying real good attention right now. Please let me know, my managing mods. That way I don't miss nobody. Gold Hunter 77. There's one I need to add. There you go, my friend. Welcome in. I made a horrible mistake this morning. What I don't even know what time it is. 10:30. It's about 2 hours ago. I made a mistake, and when I was pulling my sluice apart, it flipped around and landed face down on the ground. So we did what any good red-blooded prospector would do. It landed on my bamboo camping mat, so I cut my camping mat up, sprayed that out, and then I dug a big old hole up in the ground under where it was at. And I found more gold than I had in my indicator mat to start with. Go figure that one time. Newbie question: should I repan that dirt? 100%. Every I always repan. I pan every day. Every day I pan, even if it's just one or two panfuls of stuff. But most of what I pan every day is stuff that I have already sluiced, panned, cleaned up, whatever you want to call it. And you know what? I find gold. Never a whole lot, but I do find some gold in it. Sounds like you're tracking a lot of gold. Well, here's the situation. We're outside. I'm outside, and this is a camper mat that we've had for over 30 years. It's for over 20 years. It's been set 15 to 20. It's been setting in this one spot. I usually have a canopy set up over it, but the hailstorm destroyed the canopy. And yeah, that's right. And Mama Bird just said we need to get a new mat. This one's in bad shape. Whenever I was cleaning up hail damage, I said, "Yeah, I agree." Well, guess what? We don't have a choice now. We're gonna have to get a new mat. I've got another one that's smaller than this that we take camping with us sometimes for the tent and stuff. But my big one, this is my big one. I do need to get a new one. But I'm gonna do the whole mat now because, or not today, but at some point I'm gonna pull this whole mat up. I'm going to grid the area off. I'm going to take the top 2 inches off of it and do just what you guys seen me do. I may actually just set my high banker up. I think is what I'll probably do, and we may do it live. I may set it up as a live one evening when Mama Bird's here. We just set the high banker up and just dig it and throw it in the high banker. You never know. I bet we find gold in this. I know we will because I just found more gold than I lost. Angela, new gold camp. There you go. That's an ideal. I call dibs on my bedroom. Y'all, we got 3 other bedrooms open y'all can have, but I'm calling dibs on mine. New map to the motherlode, the Missouri motherlode. Mama Bird's Missouri motherlode live. Hey, that's an ideal, Jackson. You ought to, Jackson, Rob, Joseph, Carl, Jason. You guys need to be on panel that night. If we do this and set it up, we need to set something special up and do something fun. Be cool if Charlie, if PIB panning it back Charlie was on there too. I mean that would be pretty cool. Next week on the I Screwed Up Show, GP dumps an entire vial of High Creek for the content. I have never dumped gold back into a creek. I don't care if it's one tiny little micro. I've never put it back in there. Uh, I have taken and found gold and not had my snuffer bottle, and I quit panning. I brung the gold back home in the pan with me before. That's how OCD I am. No kidding. That's crazy. The vintage fly guys. Yeah, that's I never thought of that, but you're right. They do use a lot of gold. All right. So that snuffer bottle already has gold in it. This is everything that we've recovered today. That's what I sluiced, and it looks like I got a lot of black sand in there. So we're going to see what's in there. We're going to do a snuffer dump and see what's in there, guys. You guys kind of seen what was in there before we dug that up. I know for a fact because I counted each pan that we did that we got 36 pieces of gold out of that. So that I could see. I'm going to put a little bit of water in here so I can rinse that two-piece cap off like so. Got it. And we're going to dump it in. We're going to see how much shine is in there. Put that back together because we're going to have to reuse that to dry it up with here in a minute. Let's pour that off. Yeah, I did not pull all that gold out of that bucket. A lot of this gold that you guys are seeing, there's that pretty piece of silver right there. But a lot of that gold that you guys are seeing come out of the mat over the years, I'm sure. Because let's zoom in here and let's have a look at that. That is just peppered with gold. And some of them are proper flakes. There's some wire gold in there. There's there's 80 to 100 different colors in there. Let's tap it up and see what the smile looks like. You want to? There is a tiny bit of black sand in here. Got it. Just tap that up again. That that's a hell of a smile for me, guys. Look at that. How about that mat? That's some good stuff. You know, let's see, no, it was 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I believe it was. It could have been three. I'm not sure. But we seen good friends of ours, Tom and Wes, they spilt their gold on their campsite. That, ah, I think all of us that was watching cried. Got it. Did I bring my pan out here to dry it up with? I did. Right here. I got my goodie pan dried up with porch tear. Let's get fired up. Got it all out of there, I think. It is a tiny snuffy. It's a little bitty. I got it from Modern Michigan Prospector, and they are now on the his website as well. He said, a little big guy. It's a If you count the lid that comes with it, it's a 4-piece snuffer bottle. It separates down into 4 pieces. I don't care a whole lot for the ones that the top fall apart on, like these ones, but they do work. And as long as you pull it apart and wash it, you'll get all the stuff off of it. I prefer the Gold Guzzler, the Garrett Gold Guzzler myself. I think I got it dried up. Looks like it's dry. All right, let's pour it into this metal container. How can I do this? I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll move this stuff out of the way one time. And we'll move the camera. That's what we'll do. You move the camera right there like that. That's some pretty gold. There's enough there to move the scales, I believe. We will see the scales move, I think, or I will. You guys may not be able to see them, but I'll see them move. That's all wet. I hate to set my scales in anything wet. I'm gonna take this here paper towel and set down there and dry that little spot off. Like so. Now I can set that scale right there. Open it up. It ought to be good and pulled out of there. Let's zoom that in. Let's zoom it in. Zoom. Now we get to take it out of that metal, dump it in here. Well, if I would have teared the scale out first, let's look at it, guys, and then I'll do all that. There we go. And micros, I'm sure I'm blowing them back out in the yard someplace. Got a light breeze out here today. Now we got her zeroed out and turned on. Put that scale back on there. Carried it out. Like in the so. We got our 0. .05 something. 0.056 is what she settled at. 0.056. It's going down. So 0.05, enough to move the scales. That's not a lot of gold, but that is enough to move the scale. That's a win. Let's put our windshield down here. Our hell protector. See, I did that and moved to 0.7. We're outside. The wind, every time the wind blows, it's going to move. Let me change this up. Let's pull this camera up here. Let's unzoom it. Let's pull this camera up here. All right, so one time. And I can go around there and talk. I've recovered some gold. I recovered part of it. I'm gonna leave the area that you guys probably want to see that. The area I dug in. I'm gonna leave it open. It's we'll let Mama Bird have a look at that. So there's what I got done. There's my GP screw up of the day. And oh, what a screw up it was. Oh, what a screw up it was. That was bad, guys. Still is. I still can't believe I did that. It's my fault. It's not the sluice's fault. Uh, what I did, I left. I left the header box hooked to the sluice. Okay. So it was this section and then this section like this hooked together. And when it fell, it knocked off my leg clamp. That goes on here. You got to put this on first. There's a slot there. It locks on and then it snaps like that. So I left that hooked up like this to the sluice. I started pulling this bottom section off. When I started to pull this bottom section off, the motion unhooked this because of the added weight that was pulling down from the water that was in the hose here. Water weighs 8.33 pounds per gallon. It was like this setting in. That's exactly how it was setting. When I started manipulating this section come apart and it went flip and land upside down just like that. And as you guys well know, that's when the problem happened. And I was standing right there and I looked at like, I went, no, did that just happen? And it did. It just happened. I screwed that up like old shit. But I'll tell you what, me, Mega Dog, Jackson, Karen Gay, Golden Skull, Angelia, Angie and Rick, and all you other guys that I'm not mentioning, we figured it out and we worked it out. We got it in there. So I'm not going to make you guys or ask you guys to sit here while I finish sluicing this other bucket, but I'm going to sluice that too. It's already 11 o'clock. Don't stop now. Send that whole map. And that's it. That's it, make it dog. You know, and I never really thought of this. You know, we jokingly, you know, we'd be out here drinking or what have you, and with friends and stuff, talking about prospecting, you know, and see and different things. You don't know the how many times, the number of times that we've jokingly said, "Yeah, there's no telling how much gold you're walking on this mat." Ha 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 ha. Guess what? It was there's more truth to that. It's got me looking at the mat, man, and the gold. It just went right through it. I mean, over the years of spilling bucket, you spilled a 5 gallon bucket of material, you clean it up, you get 90% of that, everything that was in it back in there, you know, maybe even 95%. But then you're down to just, you know, a little bit that's left, you just leave it, you know. And a lot of times I'll take when I'm out here with my blower, I'll blow the mat off. So yeah, this area that we have gravel here, this little drive area in the back, uh, I think it might just actually become a dig site. This could be one of our new dig sites right here. I hate to say it, but there's gold right here. I proved it. Now, with that being said, I'm the one that put the gold right here. It's taken 20 years to get, you know, bringing bucket. I mean, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I got 9 buckets sitting on here right now. A couple of these I have spilt myself. There's been times that one time I had a bucket tied to the canopy that I had set up here. I tied a bucket on each end and, you know, to hold the canopy down because the wind was supposed to come up that night. I said, it'll be fine. We'll lower the canopy down and we'll tie the buckets up. Well, the wind got way stronger than we thought. When we come back outside, the canopy was laying upside down. Both buckets spilled everything out. That you know, shit happens. That's the way it goes. And if you have gold bearing material in the bucket and the bucket gets spilt, it goes on wherever the other stuff is. Muscle up. Welcome in, my friend. Let me make you a standard moderator. Well, I will if I can see my screen. Add a moderator. There you go. There you go, muscle up. Thank you, thank you. Appreciate it. Absolutely, man. You got the sluice fox kits to vintage. Yeah, that's what that pan that you see me use is a sluice fox pan. We we love it for cleanup. There it is. Joseph says you finally get it. So you know, we met Joseph about 2.5 years ago on YouTube. You know, we've never actually got to break bread with him and enjoy his company, but you know, hopefully someday we will. But on through YouTube, and he showed uh sent me a picture digging in his backyard and then burning the asphalt off and different things. And I'm like, man, I don't know about this guy. I get it, Joseph. You're right. I get it, man. Angie and Rick, you know, I know you guys come through Missouri sometimes. Holler at us whenever you're coming through. And if you guys have the time and we have the time, we'll get hooked up. I'm hoping that next week we're going out next weekend, and I'm hoping that that James and Risha get to go with us because you know that they're neighbors. Well, I say they're neighbors, but they literally don't live 15, 20 minutes from our house. And we've never got together with them. And we've known them on YouTube now for a couple years, and we've never got hooked up. And we want this year to be the year because they, you know, they're getting into the prospecting scheme, and hopefully we can help them with that. And we're getting into the metal detecting scheme, and hopefully they can help us with that. You know, it's a win-win. Yeah, that's it. That's the one I use too, Jason's the 10 inch. I love it because it's that's just for a 10-inch pan, it's got an 8-inch bottom wide and it's got a thick lip on it. I like it. Just let us know, Angie. Where we prospect at is 4 hours one way and we can be there. It's a hard 4 hours, but it's a 4 hour drive. So as long as we know in advance where we can plan it, because we don't just day trip. We could it just ain't productive because a 4 hour drive there and a 4 hour drive home, for we're 3 or 4 hours worth of prospecting just isn't worth it. We usually try to stay at least overnight, most of the time 2 nights, and then we can justify being down there. Now, with that being said, bring your fishing gear if you come because there's a place down there that's got some monster flatheads that we've gotten into and crappie and channel cat and any fish. They're full down there and we like to fish down there. That's Angie, that's awesome. Just your statement, man. Just that means the world to me right there. That right there is some good King's Gold knowledge, and yeah, yeah. And I know we have watched you hundreds, maybe thousands of times, magnet fishing, and it's something I see that you really enjoy. And we got the magnets and we go magnet fishing too. I suck at it. I can never get anything magnet fishing. The most I ever get maybe is a nail and a paper clip. And I look over and everybody around me, pulling all this cool stuff in, and I'm pulling in little pieces of wire and stuff. Mama Bird's pretty lucky at it too. I suck at it. I have the absolute worst luck at magnet fishing. Regular fishing, I'm usually pretty lucky. Magnet fishing, not so much, but we still like it. And it's not only allowed and legal, they actually promote it here in Missouri. Our conservation department promotes it. So any public stream water that you're on, other than state parks have got some weird rules here, and we usually try to stay out of them because of their rules. But every place else is open to that, is open to the magnet fishing. Yeah, the goat. Yeah, see, and that was that's Hogan's challenge that he issued to everyone in the Gold Kingdom. That's anyone that has in the Gold Kingdoms, anyone that ever goes outdoors prospecting. And I say that because prospecting means if you leave your house and you're going foraging, you've left with the prospect that you're going to find something, whether it be uh, fiddles or mushrooms or whatever you're out there foraging for. If you leave the house to go fishing, you leave with the prospect that you're going to catch some fish. If you leave the house to go look for gold, to go mining, you're leaving with the prospect that you're going to find gold. So anytime you're outdoors on an adventure, even if you're just camping or whatever, you're prospecting and you're part of the Gold Kingdom. And anybody out there is welcome in on this contest. But the real Mr. Hogan wants people to come up with a emblem, the logo, as he called it, for the gold, an official Gold Kingdom logo. And everyone is able to participate. So far, we've got 3 entries that I know of, and that people have sent me. And Fran is one of them, and it was an amazing entry. I'm going to tell you. Yeah, I got it, Fran. I love it. These are we're getting the prices on all the buckets and stuff like that, and we're wanting to do it to where we can make the buckets to where we can get them and people aren't out a lot of money on it. You see, does that make sense? We're wanting to do like fundraisers and stuff like that just for the buckets once we get everything in order. Hogan's has got his side of it that he's doing, and then he's actually assigning me tasks to do to help him along the way with it. And I'll gladly jump to them hoops. It is now 11 o'clock, and I know you guys have all got something important to do today. It's Wonderful Wednesday. I'm gonna finish sluicing this material. I know you guys ain't gonna don't want hang out with this old my old ugly mug all day, but we did find a little bit of gold. We had a hell of a mistake. I've still got I've still got a half bucket of these are all concentrates. That's all stuff that I've already speed panned down on the river on the creek. And I know there's gold in there because I've got that Garrett snuffer bottle over there. It's got gold in it that I sucked up when we was running the test pans and stuff. So I know there's gold in that bucket without a shadow of a doubt. And I'm gonna pan it out and or run it and see what's in there exactly. But like I said, you guys have got other stuff to do, and there's other people, great channels out there that want you guys to come in there and do it with them. So, well, thanks, Angela. That's great. So, guys, until I see you next time, I know Monday, Monday. That's one of the reasons I went live was to talk to you guys about Monday. Monday, we are having a donation duck race. Uh, it is going to be 100% of whatever we receive out of the donation duck race. We're going to apply towards our insurance deductibles. We have every single thing here in Missouri. When this first claim we've ever filed, me and Mama Bird's been married 40 years, and we've owned this house for 30 of it, and first insurance claim that we've ever filed, and we wasn't aware of this, but here in Missouri, if you file insurance on hail damage or tornado damage, the insurance company is allowed to charge you up to 5 times the amount of your original deductible. So, and that is per item. So if you file the insurance on a camper, that's another deductible. You file the insurance on your home, that's another deductible. Anything outside your home, that's another deductible, and they're allowed to charge up to 5 times the amount. And everything we owned was damaged. Now, with that being said, we're not filing a claim on anything except for our house and our cars. That's it. Our air conditioner got destroyed. There's so much stuff I can't even say all. Our campers, all that. My boat. I'm not filing a claim on any of that stuff. Uh, I'll just take care of it myself because a lot of it, the deductible would be more than what the item was worth. For each item, if you got a $5,000 deductible for every single item that you're trying to replace there, that adds up pretty quick, which is what we're trying to replace. We got over $17,000 in deductibles. And thankfully we had enough that we could pay most of them, but there's some of them that we're just going to have to do as we come up with. But that's what the races are for. It's $5 a duck, 5 ducks for $20. And there's no limit. You can buy as many as you want, and you can win. If you have, let's say you have 10 ducks in there, you can win every race. Up if we get over 50 spots donated, then we are going to add it to it. The number one prize is a 0.87 gram solid gold uh, nugget. Nice one. It looks like an angry skull. I'm going to tell you. There's pictures of it we have posted, but it's pretty cool. And then up to 50, that we're just going to do one race. Anything over 50, we're going to do 2 races. The next one's going to be a nugget over a half gram. And then anything over 100, we're going to add to that. And we're going to do it in 50 spot increments. And we're just going to keep adding. Then we have pay dirt bags, quarter-gram pay dirt bags. So there's going to be some opportunities out there. And the thing is we want to make it to where you guys have a lot of fun. So we're going to have some fun that night, and we want to make it to where we can actually raise some funds to help us out, pay for some of these deductibles. And we don't want to, try to tell anybody something that isn't true. That's where the money's going. Plain and simple. We're being greedy. It's good. And warning, public service warning here. Jason E. Miner, the Golden Skull prospector, has laid claims to that nugget. I sent him a picture of it, and the first thing out of his mouth was, "That looks like an angry skull." I said, "It does." I never realized until he said that. I said, "It absolutely does." He said, "That's going to be mine." That's good luck, man. So, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I love each and every one of you. Thank you guys for putting up with this nonsense, stupidity, and my mistake. Yeah. So I'm looking at it, and it's pretty good size hole. We might be able to save the mat. I agree. We're going to sluice this whole mat. We're going to figure out the best way to do it and set up a night live, maybe. I'm going to talk to Mama Bird about it and just kind of quarantine this area off and do us a little dig right here. I mean, if I dig down, 2 inches and pull the top 2 inches off this aggregate, and then we just sit there and do what, if we run it down a high banker, we won't even have to classify it. We'll just dig it right out of here and throw it right in a high banker and just do it all live. Might be fun. Never know. Might have a few drinks with it too. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, if you know what I mean. Guys, I love each and every one of you. Y'all have yourselves a wonderful day. Thank you for being in here. And I'm sorry it was took so long and I wasn't here for a lot of it. I was running around grabbing shovels and turning water on and off and digging holes. And I'm going to leave you with this final thought right here. When in doubt, ask your friends and family on how to do it because, y'all helped me out on this one. That's my hole. I dug it up, cut the mat out, dug it up. There it is. Until next time, guys, have a great day. Stay golden. Be humble and be kind and share the kindness. It's free. And anything free is worth saving up for. And kindness is contagious. If you're kind to someone, they're kind to someone, and they're kind to someone. And you know what'll happen? If you're not real careful, wake up someday and the entire world around you will be kind. Man, that'd be something to think about.